President Trump has ordered his agencies to review all the regulations on the books and to revoke those that are unconstitutional, that they're no longer in effect, that violate other regulations, and that their cost exceeds their benefits. And under the Administrative Procedure Act, regulations can be revoked by agencies. Administrations do it all the time. And the normal procedure is that you put a notice out there in the Federal Register, and the agency says, we hereby intend to revoke regulation X, Y, or Z, and give the reasons. Now, normally, the public then has 30 days or more to comment on that, and then the agency can take the action. So the question is whether the president can bypass what's called this notice and comment procedure, which is there for both making regulations as well as revoking regulations. And can he do it invoking what's in the law called the good cause exception? That's a provision that says, look, if you have good cause, meaning it's not in the public interest to have this regulation, or there's an emergency or health crisis that you need to have a regulation either enacted or revoked, that can be done. So President Trump appears to be invoking that. And I would think that probably many of these cases, that revocation, invoking that good cause exemption, would be valid. Now, keep in mind, of course, when that is done, and we don't know when those regulations will be announced as being revoked, you can bet that all the liberal activist groups will be filing lawsuits saying, whoa, wait a minute, you didn't give us notice to have this regulation revoked. Now, the courts, depending upon which court you go, and it probably will going to the federal courts here in D.C., since it's these courts that handle administrative law for the most part for all these agencies. It's going to be hard to predict how that goes, but I've seen regulations both promulgated and revoked and using this good cause exemption. And I think as long as the agencies give good reasons why it should be invoked, the good cause exception, then those revocations will be upheld. But even if they are not, these regulations can still be axed, so to speak, by these agencies by going through the longer process. So at the end of the day, Donald Trump is committed, as well as his agency heads, to get rid of a lot of these regulations that burden the American people, that burden our economy, and free the free enterprise system and American people to have the freedom to carry out their businesses and their other activities without these cumbersome regulations, which, by the way, have criminal penalties. There are cases where property owners are thrown in jail because they put some fill material on their land, and the EPA comes in and says, oh, that's a wetland. You didn't comply with these 10 regulations saying you had to have a permit. And there are cases on the books where those people were thrown in prison because they didn't comply with these silly and burdensome regulations. So these regulations need to go, and it will remain to be seen whether they'll be challenged in court. But at least President Trump and the administration is on the right track of getting rid of these regulations.
Do you have a question for KAMENAR? Just drop it in the comments and keep an eye out for Paul's answer right here.
To learn more about the NLPC's mission to investigate and expose government and corporate corruption, please visit nlpc.org.